so fucking bad.
What's up? Alright, so in this video I will be talking about my first time taking DXM. So before we get into it, let me start off this video by saying that I am a recovering addict. I've got over 4 months right now of sobriety, and YouTube and other outlets help to keep me sane and sober. So with that being said, let's get into it. So this took place somewhere in 2012. I was either 17 or 18 years old at the time. So I had a friend from school who told me that you could get high on Robitussin, which is a cough syrup that has the active ingredient in it, dextromethorphan, which is DXM. And I was a little skeptical of it, so I decided to look it up on my phone. Can you get high on Robitussin? And sure enough, I go on to find several trip reports of people talking about their experience with it, and I gotta be honest, it sounds like it's a lot of fun. So after school that day, I immediately head over to the store and I grabbed me 2 8-ounce bottles of Robitussin. One for me and one for my roommate that was living with us at the time, because we like to get high together and I figured he'd want to try this with me. So funny enough, as I'm walking out of the store with my Robitussin, my friend who had told me about it, him and his dad walked right past me, and we kind of laughed at each other as like I'm showing him my bag. So I head on home and I show my roommate what I got and I tell him what it can do to us. And without hesitation, he says that he is down and we should do it as soon as my mom goes to sleep. So that is what we did. We patiently waited for the day to go by until my mom would eventually go to bed. So about 8 o'clock, my mom decided to finally lay down, and I immediately pulled out that bag. I took out those boxes, unboxed them with so much excitement and curiosity, and as soon as we open that lid and get just a small whiff of it, now we are a little bit hesitant because it smells horrible. Because we were just so excited and thinking about how amazing this experience was going to be, and we did not once think, this stuff probably tastes kind of bad. So I go ahead and take a small swig of it just, to get an idea. And needless to say, it tasted god-awful. And immediately we were both very hesitant to chug this bottle, but we knew the easiest way to do it would just to be chug it and just get it over with. Can't think, you just do. So about 15 minutes of procrastinating, I finally work myself up to it and I go ahead and start chugging. And I only made it to like half the bottle before, I needed a breather. Now my roommate, he went ahead and just chugged it all down in one. And he ended up puking in the bathroom for about an hour, and he didn't even really get that high that night because, well, he had puked it all up. So I remember just kind of laying there with my head in my arms, just taking deep breaths and just trying to work myself up to, finishing the rest of this bottle. And after some more procrastinating, I finally worked up to it and finished the rest. Now for the stomach pains. I remember just laying there on my couch and my stomach felt so bloated and I was just trying to breathe, but I was also trying to stay positive because, I'm about to be really high. So the first thing that I remember noticing, of course, was that I was just really dizzy, like as if I had just taken a few shots of alcohol, and the room was kind of spinning. So my friend and I decided to go out back and smoke a cigarette to see if maybe that could calm me down and help me feel a little better. So as we're walking out back, I remember looking at my floor and I started to see it kind of move side to side and colors started to, get a lot brighter. So we sit down, light up a cigarette, and as soon as I'm smoking my cigarette, I start to instantly feel so much better. I was starting to get very euphoric. I remember sitting there staring out into my yard at this wooden fence that we had, and it had these markings all over it. I remember being able to make out different objects and just a bunch of random things. Like, I remember seeing what looked like this king riding a tiger holding a sword in the air. So of course I pointed out to my friend, and of course he's not seeing what I'm seeing, so I'm just like, alright, whatever. So I just keep trying to find all these different patterns on my fence and just tripping out on them, all while my yard is like starting to kind of move like an ocean. So we finish up our smokes, head back inside, and I just feel good as hell. I'm walking around my house not giving 2 shits about anything except for how good I felt. My friend was actually telling me that I needed to relax and just get to my room so I could just go trip out in there. And he was hanging out in the room with me that night. He was just on the PC gaming away. So I turned some music on my TV from the Xbox, and I was just trip out to that. Like, the music sounded amazing. Like, I kind of felt like I was a part of it. I think I was probably just like spinning in circles, looking up at my ceiling, doing some weird shit. So I go to sit down on my couch and I close my eyes. And the closed eye visuals that I got from DXM were always so weird. It was always like just a bunch of different textures, and it was always like right in my face. So I'm pretty sure I spent like a good 20 minutes just laying there with my eyes closed, looking at all these different textures, just having the time of my life. So things were starting to get just a bit more intense, so I decided to lay down and just trip out on my couch. Well, I remember laying there and seeing my roommate walk into my room. He was starting to walk towards me, and as he got closer, he was morphing into my stepdad. And of course, it actually was my stepdad. My roommate was already in there with me. But as soon as I noticed it was my stepdad, I started immediately thinking like, what the fuck, did that actually just happen? And he just asked me if I was feeling okay. He was just making sure that I was solid, just checking in on me. And I told him, yeah, my stomach just hurts a little bit, but I'm fine. And he says, alright, so he leaves. And I trip out on what happened for like 10 minutes because that was easily the craziest hallucination I'd ever seen in my life at that time. This is probably like 2.5 to 3 hours in maybe. And I guess I was peaking at this point because I don't remember much of what happened next. I do remember being thirsty at one point, so I was going to go to the kitchen, grab a bottle of water, and come back. Well, as soon as I get up to go get the water, it was all a blur. The next thing I remember was that I was already sitting back down on the couch with my water. My friend was giving me this weird look, and I asked him what happened. And he had actually recorded me walking to the kitchen and walking back. So I'm sitting there watching it, and I am walking weird as fuck. So it's called Robowalking. It's weird. It's like you literally walk like a robot, but like really fast. So it was pretty weird, but I mean, of course it was a little humorous because to me it seemed like I had just gotten up and sat back down with my water. So anyway, I don't really remember too much of anything else happening that night, anything like significant anyway. I was just tripping out, feeling good, and I knew that I wanted to try it again. But next time I would go on to do it before school with my friend. But that is another video for another story. But yeah, that's pretty much all I remember about my first experience with DXM. So if you're thinking about doing DXM or trying it, I can't tell you not to. I don't advise that you do it, but if you do, just be safe, be careful on your dosing, and if you're able to, get a sitter. Anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed my quick story. If you did, leave a like and a comment telling me what you thought about it or what your experience with it was like. And if you would like to hear more of these kinds of stories, then you can subscribe to my channel. It would mean a ton to me. I really appreciate the support I've been getting lately, guys, and it means a lot. So yeah, thank you guys so much again for watching. I will see you in the next one. Peace.